introduce another. So this whole thing here is the follicle, and then that brown part in the middle, that's the oocyte. So during ovulation, what's going to happen is the follicle is going to rupture, and that oocyte's going to come out of the follicle, out of the ovary, and then get swept up into the fallopian tubes. So you'll see different sizes because they're in different stages of development. And I'm not going to ask you to know, is that a primordial follicle, a primary follicle, a primary oocyte, a secondary oocyte, but you should be able to see, again, on the edge is where you're going to see these follicles, and then the oocytes will be in the middle of them. So again, just always look out on the edge. This is the best one on this one right here. But these guys are small follicles, and that little circle in the middle is just a tiny little oocyte that's early in development. This is getting close to the point where it could be ovulated. So that's the ovary. And again, that's going to be best to see at 4x or 10x. You can really look at the outer edge of the ovary. So then if I switch over, look at the vagina. The vagina is going to be easy to tell because it's going to be the only structure that has stratified squamous epithelia. And so when you look here, this would be the innermost part of the vagina right here. You're looking at just one half of it. This would be the epithelia that lines the inner part of the vagina. And again, you should be able to see layers of cells stratified. The cells look like they're kind of squashed, squamish. These are really durable cells because the vagina has to deal with a lot of abrasion. When you go from this part down, this is the smooth muscle of the vagina, and then these little circles here, those are just glands that are releasing mucus. So those would just be rings of simple cuboidal epithelia. But the key thing that you want to look for is, for the reproductive system, the only structure that has stratified squamous epithelia, that's the vagina. Now that, you should know stratified squamous because it's a key identifying feature of the vagina. So that I would definitely, if I pointed to that, you should be able to say that that's stratified squamous epithelia. Because it's stratified squamous epithelia, that's the vagina. So that one's going to be the best to see at 4x. If we went up to 10x, 10x is good to see too. So again, you can see the cells real nicely. Many layers, cells look like little fried eggs, little purple nucleus right in the middle, right inside of them. The last one is the uterus. Let's see if we can get that up here before they shut us down. For the uterus will look different depending on what cycle it is in the month. And so this one right here, this would be the innermost part of the uterus. So this layer of cells right here, this is part of the endometrium. And that layer of cells, we're going to talk about this on Thursday, this will either get thicker or thinner depending on what part of the cycle we're in. So during menses or menstruation, this part of this endometrium, except the very deepest layer, sloughs off. And that's what menses is, essentially. So this would be the endometrium. You can see there's lots of glands in here. And those glands form as we get deeper into the uterine cycle in the month. And these glands are going to secrete nutrients so that if we do have implantation into the endometrium, these glands are going to release nutrients that are going to support that developing embryo. Now you guys don't have to know that from this. We'll learn about it Thursday. But what you're looking at here for the uterus, you're going to see the endometrium. Most of this is going to be the more smooth muscle cells. And again, if we magnify this, you will see that they are smooth muscle cells. And if you just keep going, then eventually you'll run into the outermost part, which is the serosa, or also called the perimetrium. So for the uterus, I'm going to show you at either 4x or 10x, and I'll always show you the part where you can see the endometrium. So for this, I might say, this layer right here is called the what? You would say endometrium. And I could say this is a slide of the what? And you would say the uterus. If I put the pointer down here a little bit more and said, what layer is that? You would say the myometrium. So if I put it up to 10x, again, you'll see that the endometrium is going to have a layer of epithelial cells. Those are the real purple ones. And then these other cells that are underneath, different types of cells. And this whole area here is the endometrium. If we go deeper, then you should start being able to see that these are smooth muscle cells. They're running at different angles, but these would be smooth muscle cells, so that would be the myometrium. So those are the only two parts of the uterus that I would expect you to know for histology. The endometrium, and then the majority of it would be the myometrium, the smooth muscle. And then again, way at the bottom, you'll have connective tissue that surrounds the organ. That's the serosa or perimetrium. I'm not going to ask you that because it's just not that interesting for histology. Okay. All right. I hope that helps.